Welcome to Intellifluence, an influencer marketing service that you can actually afford. I'm going to take you through the process of setting up a business supplies influencer marketing campaign targeting Facebook. We'll go through the process from start to finish, and afterwards we'll take a few minutes and we'll analyze the campaign. This will show you just how easy it is to use Intellifluence to get reviewed, build awareness, and increase your sales. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm the representative of the Never Lost brand, and I'm going to market our new red staplers. Once you've joined and you've logged into your dashboard, you can go ahead and click Create New Campaign. First, give your campaign a name so you can easily reference it. Next, choose the type of compensation you want to offer influencers. It can be free product, cash, or both, and you'll notice that the field changes slightly depending on which option you choose. For today's presentation, we're going to go with both. Next, you'll enter the free product you are offering right here, along with the retail value. If you're offering cash, put in the amount you're going to offer on top of the product or service value. Next, choose how many influencers you want to work with in this campaign. Now keep in mind that you can update this number at any time. You might get a notification telling you that you do not have sufficient funds to pay the number of influencers you chose. Now this is just a reminder letting you know that you need to fund your campaign before sending pitches if you're offering cash. You don't need to worry about this right now when setting up the campaign, so we'll just move on. Next, the required work section is really important, so I want to take a minute to highlight it. You want to make sure that you include all of the required work associated with your campaign. If there's ever an issue with a transaction, it's typically because there's a miscommunication here within the required work section. So we want to be very explicit with what we're looking for. So I'm going to add all of the information that the influencer needs right here. You don't want to burden them with a lot of needless information, but you want to make sure that they have a good idea what you're looking for. So upon acceptance of this campaign, I'm giving them the instructions on where to order the product. And then once the influencer's had a chance to use the stapler, I'm looking for a high quality image of the influencer using the stapler on Facebook with a short review in the post description. And then the influencer can provide a link there, and then I include instructions on how they'll be paid as well, so they know. And if you're going to send a product directly to the influencer, you can request their mailing address or their email address as well. Since I'm having the influencer order the product from my website, I do not need to require this information. Now, it's really important that you include a campaign image. This not only enhances your campaign visibility in the marketplace, but it also just makes it look better for any pitch that you send. It's really important to upload an image, so we'll do that right now. No. Set that crop. Next, select a start and an end date for your campaign. I'll go with about a month here. And then when you get down here, you'll have the option to syndicate your campaign to public partners. So this goes out to third-party partners beyond the Intellifluence network. And then you'll have the option to display in our internal marketplace where all applicable influencers that meet the majority of the filters you put in place, they can see your campaign and apply to be a part of it. And then also we have a option where you can make the campaign open to adults only. And it's up to you which visibility options you select. And then select up to 5 categories that best represent your product or service. So for this, we're going to go with business, and we'll go office supplies. Next, select which country or countries that you want to target. If you go with the United States, it'll show you can really drill down with a local campaign. I'll show you that in the Discover section in just a second. As far as social platforms, just select which network or networks you want to target. So we're going to go with Facebook pages and profiles for this campaign. So here you can select a minimum audience size for your campaign. So by default, you'll only see the influencers that have your preferred minimum reach. You can adjust this down the road, so just consider it a starting point. Next, enter the URL for the product that you want to promote. So I'm going to add that in there, and then you can add a suggested post message as a prompt for influencers. I'm going to do that right now. So for my suggested post message, I wrote, "Are you sick of not being able to find your stapler? The Never Lost stapler ensures that you'll never have to ask anyone if they've seen it ever again. Plus, it doesn't bind up as much as competing models. The Never Lost has a patent-pending reusable adhesive bottom so it stays in place and never wanders off. You'll love it." Then give you instructions there. And then for posting do's and posting don'ts, you can post like your best practices for your branding if you have that, as well as any posting don'ts, like please no profanity, no slurs, or anything that would trigger someone to burn down a building. So we have all of our information in here. We have our campaign image, all the required work sections filled out, product information, we're good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and click save. Once you have saved your campaign, you're automatically redirected to our Discover tool. The Discover tool will enable you to effortlessly search our entire network of influencers and apply advanced filters to display the absolute best candidates. You'll notice this message letting you know that your campaign is live and here's what to do next. It's time to find the best office supplies and business influencers on Facebook. In order to make things easy for you, we apply filters based on the information you enter when setting up a campaign. This will ensure that you will only see good candidates from the very beginning. So the filters that we have in place are, we're searching right now influencers that will accept $25 in product value, $50 in cash compensation. They're in the business and office supplies categories. That's their specialties. They're based in the United States, and they either have a Facebook page or profile. So you see the influencers here, and this is an infinite scroll. You'll keep seeing more and more. And you can adjust these filters up here at any time. You can remove certain ones just by clicking here, or you can remove all of them and start from scratch. You can check out the advanced filters here, and when you have multiple campaigns going and you enter the Discover tool without any filters applied, you can click here to apply filters based on previous campaigns that you've created. So for now, you can refine by influencer. You can search by gender. You can change the country or add more countries. For the United States, you can select a particular state. Enter a zip code and then select a search radius if you're looking to do a local campaign. You can add or remove specialties, check out influencers you've worked with or currently worked with, or if you only want to see ones you haven't worked with before. You can change that total reach, small, medium, or large, and it gives the ranges there. You can search by the last login for the influencer. Influencers that will do adult-only transactions. You can search for, you can refine your budget. So basically you could offer more product or cash if you want to open it up to additional influencers. We call that relaxing the filters. It'll give you a larger group of audience. It'll give you a larger group of influencers to search. And you can refine by the reach of whichever social platform or platforms you're searching. So for Facebook, if you want to have at least 1,000 followers there, and you know that you probably can't afford more than 10,000, there's that reach. So if you're not seeing enough influencers, like I said, it will benefit you to relax those filters. So maybe take this down a notch. Maybe I want to give them 2 staplers, more cash. That will open it up to more influencers, and you'll see you should typically see more results there. Now each influencer card is going to display their bio as well as the minimum product value. they will accept, minimum cash value they'll accept. You can see their categories here, and then you can just click on their account to view their social profiles. You can check out their posts, see the interaction that they have with their followers, get a better idea of their engagement. And you can also click on their bio and view their expanded profile. They'll have their bio, any badges they've earned on our system. If they have a blog, blog metrics will appear here. And I'll go over that real quick. If you're looking to work with blogger influencers, you can refine by a variety of website metrics we have here. If you hover over the tooltip for each metric, it'll give you an explanation of what you can search there to give you a better idea of the quality of the blogger. And once you find an influencer that you would like to pitch, just click right up here and then click Add to Campaign. And then you just need to find the campaign that you want to add them to, and then click Add. Once you have the influencer added to your campaign, you will see this success message up here, and you can click to go directly to the campaign. Now within the campaign, you'll see the influencer added to the transaction bar here, and you can send them a pitch. And before we do that, we're going to quickly discuss funding your campaign if you're running a cash campaign. So we'll do that right now. At this point, you're almost ready to pitch. As I mentioned earlier, you'll need to add funds to your account before you send pitches if you're running a cash campaign. In order to fund your campaign, you just need to click the Add Funds button, which is displayed at the top of almost every screen within the system. Now you can easily add funds using the payment card you have on file that is tied to your subscription. Otherwise, you can click Add a Card if you'd like to add another payment card. If you're ready to add funds, simply enter the amount and click Add Funds. Once you've updated your funds, you'll see an updated account balance here, and you can also view an expanded account balance here that includes all of your IntelliFluence payments and subscription history. You can also view and update your payment methods right here. Now that you have created your campaign, use the Discover tool with advanced filters to find the best influencers, and you've added those influencers to your campaign, and you have funded your campaign if you're offering a cash incentive, now's the time to pitch the influencer. You can pitch influencers individually, or you can select multiple influencers to pitch using our bulk pitch tool right here. You can also remove them from your campaign in this instant using the bulk tool. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to send a pitch to this influencer, so I'm going to click Send Pitch. You'll notice the pitch is populated with your most recent campaign details. Since I'm offering cash, you'll notice the cash amount displayed here that includes the IntelliFluence Payments transaction fee. And then this total represents the total cost to send the pitch. If everything looks right, you can go ahead and click Send Pitch. You can also make any changes you want to this specific pitch before sending. If you want all pitches to reflect these changes, you need to edit the actual campaign. So you would back out, and then you would be at your main campaign screen here, and you would click the Edit button, and then you can edit any single component of the campaign right here. And then once you save that, all changes will be reflected in your subsequent pitches. All right, everything looks good, so I'm going to pitch this influencer. I'm going to click Send Pitch and send the pitch. Once you have pitched the influencer, you'll notice the status update there where you are waiting for a response. This kicks off the transaction flow. At this point, the influencer is going to review your pitch and either accept it, decline, or request changes via the messaging system. You can click Messages at any time to access our messaging system, which saves you from having to deal with email because email is cumbersome. Any correspondence with influencers will be stored here, as well as in each transaction within each campaign. So there's multiple ways to read your messages. When you arrive at the dashboard, they'll appear at a glance right here, or like I said, you can click the Messages tab to read all the messages from influencers throughout all your campaigns. And then you can actually just go right to the campaign there and click on the message box right here. If the influencer responds and lets you know that they are looking for different terms, you might need to negotiate by sending a revised pitch, which you can do right here if you still want to work with them. Now back to the campaign. Once the influencer has accepted the pitch, you'll receive an email notification as well as a notification displayed within your dashboard. You'll see a new message notification there, or you can go to the campaign and you'll see the transaction flow update right here. So now I'm ready to send the influencer the product and update this transaction flow, which will notify the influencer that the product is en route. So you can do this here, or you can also do this directly from the message screen as well. This opens your message thread here for the transaction, and you're going to click the Mark Product as Sent button right here. And then you can provide the necessary details such as tracking numbers or estimated delivery times so the influencer knows when to expect delivery. If the influencer needs to purchase the product from your website or a retailer, you can provide the instructions at this time. You can also provide any details such as a referral code if you want them to include it in their post. So now I'm going to mark this as sent, and you'll see within the transaction flow that it's been updated, the product has been sent, and now we just await the response. And we're back. We're in our dashboard, and you can see here in our latest message thread that the influencer has received the product. So we can go directly to that message thread, and we see that there. And you can provide a response thanking the influencer for letting you know. Look forward to reading the review. I find that it's always best to communicate constantly just to keep things rolling along and so both parties are involved. So now that they've received the product, they've notified us that they'll post a review. We just have to wait a little bit. And we're back once again. So let's go to the message section and we see that the influencer has posted. So we'll go to the message thread here and the influencer has included the post link. And so let's take a look at the URL to review. All right, here's the Facebook post for the stapler, and upon reviewing, I can see that the influencer has done exactly what I asked for. The review looks good, and the link that I want is promoted, so we can go back to the message thread and mark this transaction as completed. Now, if there was ever an issue with the work that the influencer submitted, you can explain here in the message thread what changes need to be made, rather than marking this as complete. Since everything looks good in this instance, I'm going to mark this as complete. Now you can include a thank you or an invitation to work again in the future. You can let them know that you'll update them on future campaigns if you want to work with them again, whatever you deem necessary. So we're going to mark as complete. And now you have the opportunity to rate the influencer's performance, and this will help us enhance the community even further. Now, in a perfect world, we could end the webinar right now because everything went exactly as planned. But the reality is, sometimes things go awry. If you've done your best to provide clear instructions throughout the transaction, but there's an issue with the transaction and you try to resolve it directly with the influencer to no avail, you do have the option to flag the transaction for further review. Now, before you do this, like I said, really try and work it out with the influencer. Effective communication will go a long way. But if you're just not getting to the bottom of it, you can click the Flag This Transaction button up here, and you'll notice this message. Please only flag a transaction for review after you've tried to resolve the issue on your own. Appropriate reasons for flagging a transaction include requesting help to get any party to comply with the terms of your agreement, bringing to our attention any party that has acted in a non-professional manner, or bringing to our attention any content that doesn't comply with Intellifluence policies. If you notice anything illegal, if there's serious issues with the content. If you're experiencing anything like that, let us know about it by flagging the transaction. Also, if you've sent a pitch to an influencer but they don't want to move forward and they haven't declined it, or you've changed your mind before any of the transaction steps past pitching have been completed, you have the option to archive the transaction, and that icon would show up right there if that was an applicable transaction you could archive. Now that we have completed a transaction from start to finish, it's time to analyze the campaign. If you haven't achieved the results you're looking for, there's several steps you can take to encourage greater success. First, you might want to adjust the advanced filters when searching for an influencer using the Discover tool. Like I mentioned earlier, you might need to relax these filters a little bit. You might need to expand the categories and relax the audience requirements of influencers in terms of their social platforms or blog visitors. For your campaign, you may want to edit it and offer more product or cash value to encourage more pitch acceptances and marketplace applications. You may need to be more explicit in the required work section of the campaign if the influencer's work is consistently not meeting your expectations. It's really easy to edit your campaign and adjust the advanced filters within the Discover tool. We created a video called How to Analyze a Campaign on our YouTube channel that you can check out for more advice on analyzing your campaign. Within any screen in our system, you can either take a tour and get an explanation of how things work. Otherwise, you can click on the FAQ link to go to our knowledge base where you can search help articles by topic. If your question isn't answered or you need some more help, you can submit a request directly to one of our friendly customer service staff members such as myself. I hope this webinar has helped you out, and we look forward to helping you reach your influencer marketing goals.